What's going on, guys? It's Suk and I am back with a brand new video on Super Duper Tech, and in today's video I'll be doing a speed test comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S8 and the iPhone 8. And if you guys haven't seen the video I've already uploaded comparing the iPhone 8 Plus to the Samsung Note 8, then you can click the card in the top right corner to go and check that video out. Also, if you guys are yet to subscribe, then go ahead and do so, as I will of course be uploading another video comparing the S8 to the Note 8 along with the iPhone 8 Plus. So without any further ado, let's hit the titles. So first up, let's get into talking about the specifications of both of these smartphones. Now, the iPhone 8 was released in September 2017 and uses Apple's custom A11 Bionic 6-core processor with 2GB of RAM, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S8 was released in September 2017 and the model that I have comes with the Exynos 8895 octa-core processor, which has 4 of its cores clocked at 2.3 GHz and the other 4 at 1.7. This smartphone also comes with 4GB of RAM. The first of these speed tests that I am going to be conducting is a boot up speed test to see which of these smartphones boots up the fastest. Will it be the smartphone with 2 additional processing cores and double the amount of RAM as the opposition, or will it be the smartphone that has its software purposely built for the hardware contained within it? And just like that, the iPhone 8 manages to load up with a total time taken of around 16 seconds. And over 5 seconds later, the S8 manages to boot up with a time taken close to 22 seconds. So now onto the RAM application speed test. Of course, prior to starting this, I did ensure that all background applications were closed. And after opening up the settings and camera apps, going onto the social media apps, you guys can see how the S8 has a slight advantage over the iPhone 8. As it's faster than the iPhone when it comes to loading up Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat and Twitter. So now the S8 is ahead of the iPhone 8 as it gets on to loading up another row of applications, starting off with Apple Music, Netflix, YouTube and finally Uber. Now at this point you guys can really see that there is a difference between the S8 and the iPhone 8, as the S8 manages to consistently open up one application ahead of the iPhone 8. So after having opened another row of applications starting off with eBay, Amazon, Wikipedia and now Lapsit Pro, you guys can see how the iPhone has finally caught up to the S8. Now at this point I do want to quickly mention that both of these smartphones are going to be exporting the exact same 2-second 4K file that was shot at 30 frames per second. And just like that, the iPhone 8 finishes its Lapsit Pro export, which means it's now on to opening up its final row of gaming applications, starting off with Subway Surfers, Pokemon Go, Injustice 2 and Super Mario Run. So just as the iPhone 8 finishes loading up Pokemon Go and starts loading up Injustice 2, you guys can see that the S8 has finally finished that export with Lapsit Pro, which of course means that it too joins the iPhone 8 in loading up its final row of gaming applications. So as the S8 finally finishes loading up the first of these games, you guys can see how the iPhone 8 is now on to loading up its final game of the first lap. Now while the S8 finishes loading up Pokemon Go, the iPhone 8 finishes its first lap with a lap time of 1 minute and 41 seconds. So now the iPhone 8 is onto its final lap, reopening these applications that were held in its RAM. But I do want you guys to pay close attention to the iPhone 8 as it does struggle to hold the majority of these applications in its RAM. And if anything, 2GB of RAM on a smartphone in 2017 simply does not cut it. I mean, if you look at the difference when it comes to the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, that 1 additional gigabyte of RAM really does help it to hold all of the applications ready and open. But anyway, if you guys take a look at the S8, you guys can see that it's opened up the final application, meaning that it finishes its first lap with a lap time of 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So while the S8 gets on to comfortably starting its final lap, you guys can see that the iPhone 8 is struggling when it comes to reloading those games, as all 4 of these games had to be reloaded, and this really does leave the door open for the S8 with double the amount of RAM to slowly catch up to the iPhone 8. So while the iPhone 8 has 2 applications to fully load, taking a look at the S8, you guys can see that it only has around 8 applications to fully load to catch up to the iPhone 8. And taking a look at the S8, you guys can see that it manages to hold eBay, Amazon, Wikipedia and Lapsit Pro successfully open in its RAM. Whereas if you take a look at the iPhone 8, you guys can see it's finally on to opening up its last gaming application, Super Mario Run, just as the S8 gets on to loading up its games. And just like that, the iPhone 8 finishes its final lap with a lap time of 1 minute and 38 seconds, with a total time of 3 minutes and 20 seconds. I will admit that if it wasn't for a few applications, that both of these smartphones would be similarly matched in its performance and the time taken. Also, if you are wondering as to why I used Apple Music when compared to other services such as Tidal and Spotify, I used Apple Music simply because I also use YouTube, which is actually a stock application on Android smartphones. Therefore, I only felt that it'd be fair if I also used a stock application on an iOS device, which you can also download on an Android. Not to mention that I know a lot of people that use Apple Music on their Android smartphone, so I thought it would be interesting to see the differences between them. So we all know how long it took the iPhone to complete this test, so how long did it take for the S8 to complete it? But interestingly enough, the S8 finished its final lap with a lap time of 1 minute and 52 seconds, with a final time of 4 minutes and 19 versus 3 minutes and 20 on the iPhone 8. After being first to boot up, along with first to load these applications as well as reload them from RAM, today's winner is of course the iPhone 8. Though I really think that this is the last time Apple are going to include an iPhone with 2GB of RAM, Apple's software optimization just nearly gives the iPhone 8 the edge when it came to reloading these applications when compared to the Samsung Galaxy S8. So then guys, that has been it for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to hit that like button, and if you are new around here, then why not subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when I upload and release my next video. If you have got any questions with what you've seen in today's video, then be sure to leave them down below in the comment section, or alternatively you can hit me up on my social media. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.